This segment has been brought to you by Tropical Literature Creatives. Authors, get your books promoted today. Before we get into today's interview, hear a little bit about the book from the author themselves.
Hello, I'm Shondrell Merdith, Barbadian author of These Views and Hills, work of fiction which follows Alyssa Hinkson, a young Barbadian female, along the length and breadth of Barbados on her journey of self-discovery. This book is available on Amazon and in the Days Book store.
Greetings, listenership. Welcome to TLC, Tropical Literature Creatives, the podcast where we interview authors and creatives about themselves and about their literary works. Some of them you've heard of, and believe it or not, some of them you'll be hearing about soon enough. Today we have with us Shondrell Merdith, author of the book These Fields and Hills. Shondrell. Yeah, I made sure I had to get that right. Shondrell. Welcome to Tropical Literature Creatives.
Good afternoon. Hello, everyone.
Hi. Shondrell, which Caribbean island do you hail from?
I hail from the beautiful island of Barbados.
Barbados. Tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe even a little bit about Barbados as well.
Okay, I was always an avid reader, so transitioning into being an author, I thought it would have been an easy process, but hey, putting pen to paper and getting a story from start to finish, yeah. It isn't as easy as some would make it seem, but it has been a very rewarding process. Things about Barbados I love is how friendly most people are. I come from what most people consider the country, so I grew up around my relatives. The village atmosphere, yes, that's where I come from.
Okay. See that you would have come from that background. Would that have affected the content of your book in any form or fashion?
I guess in a way, because I don't live in the country anymore. I live close to the city. Even though we are one island, how people in the city relate to each other is not the same as how things are back home. So, yeah.
Can you tell us, are you a full-time writer or author?
Well, I am not. I am a full-time parent. And outside of that, I work in the hotel sector. And I also work with youth. I also do some youth work. So my writing is kind of like a hobby, semi part-time job.
Okay. Seeing that this is the case, how did you, I don't want to say stumble into writing, but maybe a better description would be, how did you get started and how did you make the decision to undertake writing a novel?
Okay, well, it all started with COVID-19. Once we were on lockdown, I had a lot of time on my hands. So I am a very avid friend of Amazon, but I found difficulty with some of the titles that I was buying because a lot of people going into self-publishing, but I find a lot of people not like utilizing editors. So some things, even though it might got a good storyline, they weren't like, wow, okay, did nobody complete this before we publish it? You know? That was my train of thought, and I was like, I think I could do better. So, yeah.
And here we are.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about your self-publishing experience and why you choose to go to self-publishing as opposed to the traditional route?
Um, well, I chose the self-publishing route because I thought it would have been easier. It's not because they'll see, well, not see other offers that belong to traditional publishing houses. I find that after the first couple of books, it was like responding to this slump. So the same here, you never got to read the book, but you know how it can go. There's got this like recipe that's got to follow. I don't know if that's the case. Like that's just the way I see it. Like first couple of books, it was like, oh my gosh, yes. And then as you get on, you're like, okay, same thing, different day. So I want to like still control my narrative as far away. That's why I chose to self-publish. I mean, like, if the opportunity was more about traditional publishing, I don't know. I might, once I could have that control over what I am doing.
Okay. I see that. I see that's a big thing for you to be able to have control over what you put out there. And I believe self-publishing does that for you.
Yes.
All right. Now, the book, These Fields and Hills, is it your only book? Is it your only published work?
It is my first published work, but it's not my first book. The first manuscript that I actually finished, I was very excited about it, and I sent it off to the editor in New York, and they basically sent back with all the red marks. Oh my goodness. I was devastated. It was like, after a while, I got over it, and I was able to have the discussion, and I saw her perspective, but that was my baby. There's no way that I was just gonna slice and dice, But I think I've left it alone long enough, so I do intend to take it up and make the necessary corrections and cuts. And hopefully you'll get to see it and read it next year.
All right. We're looking forward to it. Can you tell us a little bit, maybe not too much, just, a little bit to so whet our appetites as to what the content of this book is about?
Okay, well, again, it goes back to COVID-19. I was working with the Ministry of Health on their they had a operation center. So I was working with mostly males. And as you get to hear their stories about life and how they view being a parent and how they're treated by women, and some of them don't feel like they have rights, the idea came about to write from a male's perspective. So the first draft, everybody was like, nobody's interested in men being single parents, and everyone's like, why not? This is what's happening in society, And it was like, okay, so I probably gotta do a lot more backstory so people will like be more interested. So yeah. And I'm telling you, when you read it, hopefully men will get a lot more clout for the effort. The ones that do try, that they do to being fathers and they're active within their children's lives. Yes.
In terms of the editing process, when you got it back, and you saw all those red lines and red scratches, what was your impression?
Well, as I said, I was devastated. It was like, oh my goodness, I took so much time. I mean, I did it. I redid it. I tweaked it. I thought I was like, yes, this is it, you know? And then it came back with all of these like corrections and, well, how about we try this, I'll work it here from this angle. And I was like, what? No. Yeah.
I mean, it's a recurring theme that I encounter with authors. Um, a lot of authors are very excited about the writing process. However, when they interact with the editors and the same thing that you described, they get back, this document with the red lines and the scratches and stuff. It's a humbling experience. When a lot of them contemplate, I mean, do I really want to continue with this? Because I mean, I poured of myself into my work, and this is the feedback that I'm getting. So to a lot of authors, it's a humbling process.
Yes, and I had that same issue. So it's only when I wrote this book, these fields and hills, because I entered it into NIFCO, which is a government sponsored program here for performing arts. Well, cultural and performing arts. I didn't place, but the feedback I got is what gave me the drive to live it. Okay, these things happen. I'm not perfect. This is how I'm gonna zone in on correcting my little errors. I don't call them mistakes. This is how I build. Get a different perspective, go and make me better. But I'm telling you, seeing all those red lines, it hurts. It really hurts.
I mean, you can't deny the effect that they had, but I'm glad that in spite of the effect I know that they had on you initially, that we have a product in front of us that was birthed from that.
Yes.
What has the reception been? You said that you had entered the initial story into a competition. Now that the finished book is out there, I mean, what have persons been saying about it?
A lot of people were like, it's very relatable. It's like, yeah, because the story is about a young Barbadian female and how she finds her way. But it's also, it follows her over a 24-hour period as she travels on public transport. And a lot of people connect with the fact that catching public transport in Barbados, it brings you closer to God. It truly does.
No, you have to give some more detail into that, because I'm thinking one thing, but I don't want to go away with something else. Give some insight into that statement, just a little.
About the public transport?
Mm-hmm. Because the impression I'm getting is that, it's probably a traumatic experience, and, coming out of it, persons are like, I feel like I'm closer to my maker after, having traveled on this public transport, because that's the impression that I was left with. I'm not too sure how it is you had intended. It was more sort of a philosophical experience, after you go to the public transport, you're like, what? I'm a bit more at peace, or something like that. Is that how you had intended it?
That is like, okay, here we have Transport Board, which is government funded, and then you have PSVs. So the PSVs, they tend to do their own thing. The government tries to control them, but yes, they go off route. They drive very recklessly. The music that is played most of the time is very vulgar. So it's an experience in itself. So I'm thinking, you've never been to Barbados?
No, I've never been to Barbados. I have been to one or two other islands, but not yet. I haven't been to Barbados yet. But I have intention, so thanks for giving me this scoop. So good looking out there.
Yes, it is an experience within itself, and the owners of the vehicles and stuff, they try, but the drivers don't make the moves. It's something you have to experience to understand. But when you read the book, I take it positive enough that you can envision what it'd be like.
The same way that the book describes, public transport in that light, do you see it as a tool, for example, like for tourism, to get persons insight into the happenings of your island as well? It can be used for something like that.
Yeah, but for some unknown reason, most tourists, when they come here, they kind of like the experience. I don't know why, but I guess it's true.
I mean, they probably see it as an authentic beach and experience.
Well, hey, it's what I can do it all.
Okay. In terms of your book, where can persons get copies, should they have intentions to?
Okay, so it's available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. In Barbados, you can get a copy from me. You can contact me on IG, pinned by Shondrell, or it is also available in this bookstore. And recently, I have also been able to get it into Souvenir, which is a bookstore which features Black authors.
In terms of the distribution, did you encounter any challenges? Or the question I should ask is, the places that you had intended to distribute your books to, is there like a, how should I put this? Is there like a space or an area for a lot of local authors?
Ooh.
You have to pull up for the after. Let me pull up and get something for this tea that you're about to spill here.
We in Barbados tend to gravitate towards everything from outside. So, like, Rihanna is one of our biggest achievements, you can say, as when it goes to artists, anything along that line. But if Rihanna had not left Barbados, she would not reach the status to which she is right now. So, when it comes to locally produced anything, unless you have certain international status recognition, it tends to feel like you are begging. So there are some people that are willing to work with local artists, creators, but it's not like they're going to promote you. You got to do all the promotion yourself. And then you get relegated to like a low shelf in the back, you know? Dear.
No, as you say that, there's a phrase that keeps on coming up regularly. A prophet is not without honor, except in his own country. And it seems that, like you're saying, we would receive the recognition and the respect on the outside before we receive the recognition and respect on the inside. It's sad, but it seems to be the way that some of these things go.
Yeah, and from speaking to other authors, it's like even people that have multiple books out, they still encounter the same issue.
as that is the case, I mean, how are you as an author attempting to combat that issue to get your book out there? Because I'm thinking that your book is, in a sense, is it, how do you, let me, before I go that far, how do you view your book? You view it as a hobby, or do you have intentions of viewing it as a product to push it?
I think it's a product to be pushed, you know? And I thought really and truly that writing was the hardest part. No, that was just the beginning of the journey. Like now, for me to push, I use Instagram. And I've connected with some very interesting people that was actually willing to help me for free on how to navigate this whole being an author and trying to gain recognition and get your work out there and everything. And I've gotten a lot of help. I've been very grateful for the help I've gotten. And like how I met you. I've met people from Jamaica. I've met people from Guyana, people from St. Lucia. They've reached out and, they're all like, they're authors in their own country. And they're like, yeah, we got to stay together. We got to work hard. We got to do this, So it's like, it's been, I won't say a struggle because I am seeing the fruits of my labor, but it was a shock to me to see how much work you got to put in after you've written to actually get your work out there, get known, get people interested. Yeah.
Okay. Now, one of the conversations that I've had with authors is that in doing the process, like you said, writing is the easy part, and they find themselves having to, do marketing, find creative ways to get their work out there. So the reason I asked the question that I did before is, how do you view your book, whether it's something as a passion project, or if it's a product that you want to get out there, with the issues or the challenges that you've identified with Barbados. What are some steps that you think that you can employ to overcome these challenges? I mean, you've mentioned that you've been using Instagram to push your book. Are there any other platforms or any other arenas or groups or markets that you intend to push your book into to get it out there?
Okay, so the NCF actually had the book fest a couple of days ago, and at this book fest, I spoke to Minister of Culture, and I was just letting her know like is a brilliant idea, but we need more opportunities for Barbadians to come see what we have to offer. There is also a couple book clubs that the ladies that run them, I've met them. We've been in constant communication. They have some things in works. There are also little pop-ups, festive stuff and things that you can use to get your art out there, your craft, your books, that sort of stuff. So there's some other ventures that are in the works. I have not had a book launch as yet.
Really?
No.
No, that surprises me because when I was doing research, I saw that you were featured in a number of newspapers. So I'm thinking to myself, Shondrell, that you're really pushing, your literature. So as you're saying, no book launch. Curious. Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't do the book launches yet because it's like, because I still work.
Mhm.
And then like, the book was published in the 5th of July. That was like summer. So then I have children. I had to prepare them for school. It's like I had to like put a lot of stuff on the back burner and things. So like, see that I have to do most of the watching and marketing myself. Yeah. So I'm hoping to like do it next year early. But I wanted to be like not just a Shondrell book launch, but see if I could get other self-published local authors to get together and have an event.
Okay, that sounds very creative again. And you're thinking like less like an author and more like a marketing person. You have your marketing cap on right now.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the things that you've mentioned so far, the book that you want to publish in the year 2024, and all the advice that you've given, the insights that you've shared about your experiences, what are your intentions for 2024? What can we look out for from Shondrell, in addition to the book launch, in addition to another book that she wants to publish? Are there any other plans or intentions or goals that we can expect to hear about when it is that we open the newspaper and we see Shondrell's name appear?
Well, I consider myself an ambassador of my island, you know? So I ain't just pushing for me. I want to get the word out there, you know, like everybody else is opening arms to other creatives and stuff, you know, so just not just to get myself known, but the other local talent that we have here, just to work along with other people to push our brand. And it doesn't have to stop with Barbados, you know? It could be my Trinidadian brothers and sisters, my Jamaican brothers and sisters, you know? Like, you could push a regional something. So, like, there's so much literature out there when it comes to America and Europe and Canada. You know, it's like, why is there not more Caribbean content?
Exactly.
So there is talent within the region. It's just to get it known. That's my goal.
All right, Ambassador Shondrell. Yeah. Well, we're speaking it into being, and we're looking forward to it. Well,
Yes.
all right. Well, we're wrapping up this session. Is there anything that you'd like to share with the listeners at this point in time before the interview ends?
Okay, so if there's anyone out there who's interested or has passion for writing, all I can say is just take up a pen or just start typing, you know? You don't gotta try to do it all in one day. And a lot of time, just start. Believe in yourself. Yes, that's it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Shondrell Merdith, author of These Fields and Hills. Shondrell, thank you very much for availing yourself to be interviewed by Tropical Literature Creatives.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
Okay, well, we look forward to hearing about all your undertakings in the year 2024, Ambassador.
Thank you.
Okay, you take care, Shondrell.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. You've been listening to TLC, Tropical Literature Creators. If you've heard something of interest or something you like, reach out to us. Reach out to our authors. Follow us on social media. We look forward to hearing from you.